Welcome to the All-Star Planning Podcast. My name is Kelsey, and this is the place where I talk all things teacher lesson plans. Today, we are talking about something that I hated at first, but then actually grew to love, which is learning targets. When I was a student, we called learning targets aims. They were always written as a question. I never paid attention to them, nor did I ever care. So I sound like a really bad high school student. Let me just say, I was a good student. I had good grades. I worked hard. I just didn't care about things that I thought were kind of stupid and pointless. And I think that I thought aims were stupid and pointless because my teachers never talked about them, never told me how to use them, why we use them. When I started teaching the school that I was in, we called them learning targets, and they were written as statements. In fact, they were written as I can statements. And this, I hated it at first. I thought it was kind of dumb. And then I realized the value of a learning target. So here we are. A learning target, learning objective, an aim, whatever you want to call it, they are basically telling you the goal of the lesson, why you are teaching, what the kids are going to learn, what we're all kind of aiming for, or what the objective is, right? So these are things that can be assessed by the end of the lesson. So your learning target is not going to be something that requires a lot more information than what you're teaching just on that singular day. And in my experience, they are supposed to be skill or task based. The idea of students will understand, kind of difficult to measure, right? But they have to happen from time to time. The school that I am in now calls them SWABATs. Students will be able to. And to me, that seems like teacher language. Like, the students will be able to graph a straight line with a positive slope. That to me sounds like some boring junk that goes on a lesson plan, not some fun, enticing stuff that's supposed to get kids excited to learn. That is what an I can statement is. So even though I'm in a school that does SWABATs, I have stuck to the I cans, the learning targets. I call them LTs. I love them. I have grown to love them, and here's why. When I create a unit plan for myself, I then take it and I make a student-friendly version that I share with my kids. And on this, I put all of their learning targets, right? And it's actually kind of crazy. Sometime during the first week of school, I tell the kids the purpose of the I can statements. And I actually teach them how to study because many of my kids don't know how to study. So I tell them that they need to go back and look at their notes and that these targets or their, learning targets, objectives, aims, whatever they are there on purpose. And the purpose is that it's a checklist. It is a checklist of the things that the kids are supposed to learn. And we put them in I can statements so that they are in kid-friendly language. So for me, lesson 2.8, we are talking, no, not 2.8, 2.5, we are talking about atomic Lewis structures. So the I can statement would be, I can draw an atomic Lewis structure. Boom. When it comes time to study, the kids have this unit outline that tells them all of the I can statements. It tells them all the vocabulary. It gives them the dates that we learned everything. It told them all of the homework assignments. They can go through this list of I can statements and literally check them off. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. No, I can't really do this one that well, so I'm going to focus on this particular thing, right? And on my unit sheet that I give the kids, it will tell them that this is lesson 2.5. So then they can go back in their notes, find everything that's on 2.5, review it, relearn it, go into Google Classroom, watch the curated video that I found on YouTube that will help them with the content from 2.5. They can write to me and say, hey, Miss Reevy, I'm having issues with 2.5. I watched the video on Google Classroom. I'm still not understanding. Can you help me out? This is where, one, the coding system comes into play. Go back and watch that episode. I believe it's episode 5. The coding system is life-changing. But two, this is where the I can statement becomes important. And I think that there's not enough people explaining the value of these things because as a student, for like my entirety as a student, I never knew the importance. When I was in college, No professor ever told me this is why you need to use these statements. They just told me I had to. And I really didn't figure it out until I was a first-year teacher. And then when I started teaching the kids the I can statements, there were a lot of them that were like, oh, that's what they're for? It's part of the, I believe it's the Danielson rubric that says that the aim or the learning target or whatever needs to be said verbally out loud to the kids, right? But if the kids don't know what it's for, they're not listening, they're not paying attention, and they don't care. They are like Kelsey, the 16-year-old, sitting in class going, all right, come on, let's get to the notes. I'm sick of this nonsense. That's what I think a lot of the kids have been thinking all this time because they're not told what they're for. So that's what they're for. That's how I use them. And I put them on their worksheets as well. I know that there's mixed opinions about putting this stuff on worksheets. Well, here's the truth. I don't put them on their worksheets. I put them on their note sheets. So it helps the kids to be able to go through the note sheet and kind of figure out what the point of those notes are for. Does that make sense? I don't put them on every single worksheet ever because I just put the code number on there and then they can connect that worksheet with the learning target that's on their note sheet. Okay, so that is what learning targets are for. That is how I use them. And that's it. This is a pretty short one. So if you haven't already, please sign up for the free All-Star Planning Masterclass where I show you how the 5 pieces of the All-Star Planning Method come together. You can find it at plan.kelseyreevy.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss anything. I'd hate for you to miss something. Episodes come out every Tuesday. And that's it. That's all I have for you. So have an excellent day. Have a wonderful day. A day as beautiful as you. Happy planning. See you next time.